talking about.
Let's do it.
What's going on, everyone? Once again, this is the Professional Athletes 5 for 5. I go by the name of Jabari K. Smith, your host, and I get the privilege to hang out with one of my partners, man. This guy, we bump into each other at least 3 times a week, right? We both work in the same co-op space, and we're both doing similar things, but I'm gonna let him get into what he does and how magnificent it is. But first, let me introduce to you all Giovanni Garcia. Gio, what's good with you, fam?
Man,
Good
going
to see
good,
you,
man.
Good to see
Appreciate
you.
you having me.
Definitely.
Oh man, I'm happy, man. It's been cool. I interviewed you, and then now you're interviewing me. So this is the way to do it, you know. I mean, we're both very passionate about what we do. You know, obviously you got the professional athlete with that I admire. I got much respect for you, and then obviously you got the fantasy sports cave as well. You know, and I think we're like I said, we're both very passionate about sports. We both played sports in college, and it's just the way for me is just to kind of show my creativity, kind of show my art to the world and stuff. And this is what I feel like how I kind of give back to the world and other people, show my stories and different things, you know, and kind of motivate people to do what they want to do with their life.
Exactly. And speaking of giving back and sharing your experiences with the world, I mean, last week I was taken back by your point of view from the soccer game that you were at. You got an opportunity to be at the LAFC home opener, man. Talk to us about that, man. That was amazing.
Man, by far, literally, I've been following sports my whole life, you know, from everything from soccer, baseball, like all the major sports, and like the way LAFC created this team, built this team up, man, like I have so much respect for the ownership, just everybody, all the parties involved, because they brought our community. You know, I'm from LA, you know, you're from the LA area. And the way they did it, they asked the community, like, how do you want this team to be built? You know, they had a previous team and they built it the wrong way. One, they wanted the team to be in the heart of LA, LA.
Right.
You know, you got the LA Galaxy who are in Carson.
Correct.
Carson's about, 30, 40 minutes away, depending where you're at. 2 was to get public transportation, ease of access.
Oh yeah,
and that's a major thing, especially living here in LA. If you don't got a car or anything like that, so in order to go from there to Carson,
that's far.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
So the public transportation you can take the bus, you could take the metro and everything, and it's right there in South Central LA. It was so cool, so magnificent, and it was just awesome to be part of history because. I was in a packed house with 22,000 people. And
it's like I can feel the roar and the vibration from your point of view.
And it was amazing because, like I said, like I've never seen a sports team just take over a city like in LA.
So you would think that they've been there for years, man, by the atmosphere.
Like decades. Like decades. Like the way I saw the atmosphere, I was like, wow, this team is like the Lakers, you know, you know what to expect because I mean diehard Lakers fans. There is diehard LAFC fans. And this is their first season. This past Sunday was their first game. And you got people like LFC till I die.
It's crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? But it's just
happy birthday, LAFC, man.
Happy birthday, man. And they did it right.
I want to know, man, what inspired you to start the Fantasy Sports Cave, man?
Man, like I said, I've always been part of, like, sports have always been my go-to. And I used to work for corporate America. Long story short, I ended up getting fired. I went broke, ended up sleeping in my car, lived out of my car for like 5 months. And while at that time, I was like, an Uber driver. I was doing everything so I didn't have to get a job because when I got fired, I pretty much got kicked to the curb, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you get kind of kicked to the curb, you don't want to go get a job. At least that's my take. I didn't want to go out there and get another job. So I was like, I took a step back because I was really at a low point in my life. And I realized, I was like, you know what? I need to do something that makes me truly happy, like that I'm really passionate about. And like I always look back, it was always sports. I was always watching sports. I was going to the bars to go watch sports. I was going hanging out with my friends just to go play sports. And I was like, I need to build something. And when I first started, I found this place, this co-op place, and I was like, you know what? I need to surround myself with like-minded people. You know, there's businesses from big and small, and I was like, I'm gonna do something with sports. At first, it was a sports blog for a couple months. You know, like I didn't know what I was doing. Like,
just figuring it out. Being creative.
Let me write about this, and then I work a lot of events out here. I worked at an event in Anaheim. It's called VidCon with a lot of YouTubers, social media influencers. And I saw how they documented their lives. You know, like, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm going shopping, whatever. I was like, I can do that, but for sports. I have no experience in front of the camera, but I was like, I know I can do that. So the first one I did was for LA Chargers. I went to the game, And I did it, and I just had so much fun because I was already going to all these sporting events. I was already buying, whether if it wasn't my home sports team, whether if I was going to Pittsburgh or whatever city it was at, I wanted to go check out their stadium, see how their fans interacted, see what they had to do.
Yeah. And
then that's why I was like, I need to show this to other people, and other my friends. And I started doing the videos, and I was like, this needs to be more than just a blog. This needs to be like videos, articles, and content. And then I was like, you know what? So my goal is now to build an online sports network. So I have the opportunity now to travel the country, interview athletes, interview fans, which I think is the most important thing. Is interview the fans because they're the ones that fill up the seats. They're the ones, that essentially pay for the athletes and everything around.
Right.
Kind of tell their stories a little bit better. And get to see why are you such a diehard fan? Why you love your team so much?
You're really onto something there because no one really are able to receive a story from a fan's perspective.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of times we do hear it from the athletes or from just the commentators, but to hear that fan experience, like I said, every time I follow you and I watch your videos, I feel like I'm right there in the fans' shoes, like I'm a part of it. It's crazy how you do it, man.
Well, that's been my goal is like, because I have people that follow me from like different parts of the world, which is crazy. We're so connected now. That I want to show that experience like, hey, I'm going to take you with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to show you what I see. I'm going to show you what I feel. I'm going to show you the love and passion I go. Like, the hours and everything it takes to put these videos, like, I was literally so picky about the video that I released yesterday because I cared about so much. I was like, I want them to see this. I need to add this scene, and it's just like, it's really showing them like, wow, this is, this is what it's at the stadium. You should go check this out. But also like, look, you can do whatever you want. Like, I started this business without no connections, nobody I knew in the sports industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, no industry context at all. And I just pushed it and made it happen.
Yeah, and like I said, you've already built this thing to over 400,000 viewers. I mean, worldwide. So like, and if I can share, I mean, you're what, a year in or 2 years in?
9 months.
You see, anything is possible. You can make this thing happen, man.
And it's just like I don't really. It's so funny because at first when my friends ask me or people who ask me like, well, how do you make money? I'm like, you're focusing on the wrong thing.
Correct.
You're 100% focusing on the wrong thing. Like, don't you see I'm passionate about this? Don't you see I'm happy? I love doing this. Like, I was working a shitty job because I was doing it for the money but I wasn't happy. I was getting this nice salary, but I wasn't really happy. Now I'm able to take less, but I'm able to do what I love. I'm able to be creative and show what I love to do with my life.
Exactly. In this short journey, kind of share with us some of the, I guess, interviews that you had that really stood out to you.
Oh man, just so many. I think the first one, because so 90% of the time I haven't gotten credentialed at all.
I'm glad you shared that story.
I don't really like to share that because it's not because I'm trying to boast about it, but it's just like it's what I got to do to build my business, what I got to do to build content. So now I feel like I got a responsibility, and I do reach out to these professional teams. I mean, whether they watch this or not, like I do reach out to them. But if you deny me, you say no, like I'm still gonna get my content. I got people that I feel like depend on me to get certain content, especially being here in LA, being the mecca of sports. You know what I'm saying? So I do reach out to them, but so when they don't credential me, I just finesse a way to get in there. So the first interview I've ever had was like the second video I did at LA Chargers. It was me and my brother. The Chargers wouldn't credential me, but they'd give me field seats or field tickets. So you can be there 30 minutes prior to the game, prior to the start of the game. So I brought my brother, we went with our shirts and stuff. So we were on the field. We latched onto these Pop Warner kids because they were like, meeting the players. I'm like, told my brother, like, look, we're going to attach to them. We're going to look like we're with them. Anybody else sees we're media. Just go with it. My brother knows how I roll. He just follows my lead. So like we went with it, and then like we're with them, me and the players. So it's time they're kicking everybody out, the fans out. And we were supposed to go with them, but I told my brother, no, we're just going to chill here. So then I see LaDainian Tomlinson over there. And then like we're just hanging out, me and my brother. So I was like, look, we got to move because security's starting to come. So then security starts to come. I see this guy, and me just being savvy, I told my brother, turn on the camera. He's like, what? I was like, turn on the camera. And then I just get into it. I was like, Welcome to the Fantasy Sports Cave. This is your host, Joe Garcia. We see LT over there, man. We've been having a blast here, on the field. We're going to go talk to him. We're going to get his thoughts and everything. So the security guard completely just stopped. Because one, I knew, you're not going to interrupt someone when they're filming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he, completely stopped. He didn't say anything. So I was like, when I told him about it, I was like, come on, guys. because he's filming.
Yeah.
So, that got us away from him. So then, I went up to LT. And I was so nervous, but I was trying to keep it so cool because the security guard's right there. Here's LT, a legend, an NFL legend. And I'm just like, hey, LT, do you mind if we get an interview, for the sports channel, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. And I'm so nervous, man, because I was just like.
You're supposed to be there.
Yeah, because I was it was my first time actually being on the field and actually interviewing, because at this point I was interviewing fans. I was getting just shots of the stadiums and stuff. But this is my first interaction with LT and just an athlete that just in the go.
Right.
And I had no questions prepped. So I completely choked.
Straight freestyle. Straight freestyle.
Well, I completely choked because I was like, man, instead of being like, hey, LT, how is it, to be the San Diego Chargers are here in LA? I had been asking these fans.
You didn't know you was going to see him, man.
Bro, that's what it was, because I didn't know I was going to see LT, and it just it was just so much emotion, because one, I wasn't supposed to be there. Security guard was on my ass.
Yeah.
LT's right there, so I'm just like, damn, this is so sick, And I just choked on it, but
at what point in your journey did you know that you were doing the right thing and you were headed in the right direction?
Because I was going at this for 5 months, and I was just filming off my phone. And for a while, when I was I was getting a couple hundred views here, I didn't really focus on the views. I was like, you know what? Let me focus on building great content, editing and all that. That's so hard. Whereas a videographer and stuff like that is so hard. I was in New York City, and I went to a New York Knicks game. And it so happened when I go to any game, I don't know, it feels like something happens. And then that was the night that Porzingis scored his first ever 40 points.
Okay.
And we bought nosebleed tickets. And I brought my friend from London. It was me, my brother, my friend from London. And he didn't know how I rode. I was like, no, we're going to go down there.
Right.
We're going to just finesse some seats. We're going to go. We're going to find there. And so we found some seats. It's literally courtside's right here. And then in Madison Square Garden, they have the other section.
Yeah.
So I was on the first row of that section. Dang. And then I didn't realize, it was a Sunday night. So I was like, one thing I know if anybody's watching, in order to if you move around these seats, if no one's there by the first quarter, those seats are yours because they're not going to be there.
Right.
So that's just a little trick I learned. So I was like, if we finesse this to the first quarter, we're good. We're straight for the rest of the game. So first quarter, 5 minutes go by. I'm like, come on, nobody show up. Nobody. It was 4 empty seats. So my friend from London was scared. He went up to the seats. He tried to text me. I'm like, no, you're not coming back down here. He eventually did. So we just sat there, and I got so many cool shots. It was my first time at Madison Square Garden. Seeing Porzingis right there. I uploaded that video a couple of days later. Video instantly took off. Got 10,000 views.
Wow.
And I was like, I looked at it the next morning. And I'm like,
is this real?
Is this real? And I'm like, holy shit, it is real. This really did happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just comment, I told my friends, because at this point, all my friends knew I was into sports, but it was they knew it was a hobby at that point. But
right.
It was I was committed. And once that video kind of just took off, I don't know, it kind of validated me, but it also validated me, okay, now I got to take this to the next level. Now I got to buy better equipment, whether it's a camera. I got to invest more on the quality of the content. I also got to buy editing software, because I was like, if I'm really serious about it, then the quality needs to be a lot better.
Gotcha.
So once I saw that video take off, I was like, all right, let me invest in a camera. Because when you first start out, as whoever's listening, you don't need the best equipment, this,
just got to do it.
Just got to do it. Just put the content out there. Yeah. Look, I did it with an iPhone for 5 months. For 5 months, recording off my phone. And once that, I feel the universe was like, okay, now it's time to invest in the camera. Now it's time to do that. And so that was my point when that video took off.
That works. So, I know your viewers may know your background, but this is their first time being introduced to you. So, of course, this is the professional athlete. You're an ex-collegiate athlete. Yeah. So share a little bit of your story of playing college soccer, right?
Yeah. So I played college soccer. I was very athletic. I played all the sports. I'm about 5'8", a heavy 150, I like to say. So I knew soccer was my sport. I played basketball. I played AAU. I played all these different sports. I was very athletic. I loved playing all the sports. But soccer was my thing just because of my height. That's where I'd go. So I ended up going to playing. I played at Southwestern College, and I played at Grand Canyon. I ended up playing, I think, till my sophomore year, and that was about it. But once I stopped playing, my passion was still there for it. But it was tough. I mean, any athlete that stops, because like any athlete that goes to play out of college, I'm gonna go pro.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do that. So for me, what kind of hit me, I was like, man, like I realized a guy, he was a senior. The guy was stellar. Like he would pass the ball to you on point. This guy was legit. I was like, man, that guy's gonna go pro. But I saw as far as how he went, and I was like, man, that guy's way more talented than me.
Gotcha.
So what does that mean for me?
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
You was able to figure it out.
So I was able to figure it out at an earlier. It sucked because you know when you realize, okay, this may not happen, but this is like kind of like the only thing you're kind of banking on.
Right.
Well, this is, for me, it was like this is the only reason I'm going to school.
Hey, right.
You know, this, the chicks, you know,
Right.
if we're being honest, and just like the atmosphere. But it was just like. I crushed me, man. I was depressed. You know, like how you talked. I was depressed because I was like, what am I gonna do? You know. And then I was like, let me try some marketing jobs. Let me try to do this. But eventually, like, I think it kind of came back because I'm doing sports.
Right.
I'm doing
You're
what
back
I love.
in your
I'm
environment.
back, and I'm in my element. When people see these videos, they're like, "Is that really?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's because you haven't seen me in my element. You know?
Exactly.
Because once I'm in there, like, I really feel it. Like, I'm like, I gotta put on a show. Every time I film there, like, I'm putting on a show. Like, whether like. You know, I'm an athlete or an artist. Like, I got to be creative and I got to bring it every single day.
I agree. What do you think are some of the key principles that you learned from being an athlete that you apply right now into the fantasy sports?
Just pushing yourself every day, man. Like, you know, as an athlete, obviously you want to get better, you know, whether it's your agility, your strength, you know, all that stuff, and you're waking up early. For me, like, building a business, it's a completely different beast.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because in sports, there's, you know, if you play a game, typically there's one winner.
Correct.
In business, what I've learned, you can lose many times, but if you get that one win, that can take you.
That's all you need is one win.
One win. One win.
Yeah.
And you can win multiple times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the sport of business is really awesome. So it's a 24/7 game.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I got to be up to 3, 4 in the morning, but I love it. I'm very passionate, you know. But I also learned that I got to take care of my body. I got to take care of my well-being and stuff. But another thing that sports has taught me is building a team, working with a great team. Because without, like, I mean, you look at any sports team, you know, from basketball, football, soccer, whatever, they're built with a team.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what gets them to elite level. So slowly I'm building my team. You know, I got Chris, who covers all our NBA content. I got Matt, who just joined the team, and he covers all the fantasy side. Hopefully I got another individual that's going to come that. So it's just like showing them that, look, like, hey, we're a team.
Yeah.
It's like we're together.
That's the most important part. And those are the two strengths that I have, is being able to build a team and be around a team and bring the best out of them. And the other one that I learned from being an athlete is just my self-assessment and self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know, as an athlete, you got to know when you're hurt, when you're tired, when you're hungry, all of those things. And in business, you need to be aware of that as well, understanding what your strengths are and your weaknesses. And I didn't realize that I was going to have to rely on those things until years later. I'm like, wow, this is something that I thought was a weakness or something that I only used to survive is actually now one of my biggest strengths.
Exactly.
So is that something that you can attest to as well?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just like for the feedback. I mean, before I post any of my videos, I ask the guys here. I'm like, literally, I ran up like 5 guys. Tell me your feedback. Oh, no. Tell me what you think. What do I need to fix? Because I've seen this video like 10 times.
Yep.
If you see something like, okay, no, this, like, I think, you know, this shot was a little too long, and that helps me out because I get 5 different eyes, you know.
Exactly.
And if they all agree, I'm like, yeah, dude, that shot was a little too long. That didn't make sense. Like, I had this shot before that it kind of was shaky, and one of the guys was like, yeah, it kind of made me dizzy. And I'm like, well, if it made you dizzy, it's gonna make
everybody else dizzy. Exactly.
So I switched up the shot. So it's just like getting feedback, and I don't take anything personal when I'm like, no, because I'm really trying.
We're used to hearing worse in sports.
Yeah, exactly. Way worse.
What do you think are some of your biggest challenges now?
Right now, I mean, there's always challenges with any business, anything you're trying to build from the ground up. There's challenges. For me, is one is just being consistent. You know, with myself and the team, like building content every single day. You know, being committed to it. I mean, that's a challenge in itself, but also like teaching my team members. You know, teaching the team as well, and also like, you know, trying to break in with the sporting teams, because a lot of these things, like I said, like building the relationship, because they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the potential and stuff like that. So it's learning how to like talk to each sports team, because a lot of them are going to say no right away, because they don't know. You're not an NBC, you're not I'm not ESPN, but like for me, it's like I understand where I'm at.
Right.
I know where I'm taking this business. I know where I'm at. Like my head's not way up there. I'm not over here. Like with all the videos and all content put up, I know where I'm at, but I know where I'm going, and it doesn't bother me when these sports teams say no because I'm gonna get in there regardless.
You're gonna get in there regardless.
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? So
and
it's
that
just
focus.
like it's about having that mentality. It doesn't matter if you don't know anybody. It doesn't matter if they say no. Like there's a couple of sporting teams they've said no to me multiple times, but I'm still going out. I'm still knocking on the door. I'm gonna get in there. They just don't know it.
That's an athlete's mentality, man. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm gonna get in there.
Exactly.
So.
I'm gonna cut you off for a second. See if we have any questions. Do we have any questions on Facebook Live right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Well, listen, if you guys are watching and you have some questions, feel free to text us what you have. Gio's open. For the ones that's just now tuning in, this is, of course, the Professional Athlete, and I'm here with Gio Garcia, who is the founder of the Fantasy Sports Cave, and we're talking about sports. We're talking about life, and we're talking about all the fun stuff. So I guess we can continue this conversation. Where do you see your brand in the next 5 to 10 years?
My goal is to take it to the top, just worldwide, man.
Yeah.
I'm having an opportunity to go to the World Cup this summer.
Dude, you're everywhere,
I'm
bro.
trying to be, man. I'm on.
How many countries you been to so far?
Not that many.
It seems like a lot, though.
Yeah,
man.
I've been to Mexico. I've been to the Cayman Islands and stuff, but I don't really count that, you know. But going to Russia is gonna be quite an experience because it's gonna be a language barrier, you know. But it's also gonna, you know, I'm gonna be able to build my brand, build my business, and share with the world essentially. So whether a video takes off, or something, you know, like an article, whatever. Like my goal is to take it to be like I'm building a sports network, you know, and it's just to not just cover sports here in America, but cover sports worldwide. But I'm saying it's just like it's the baby steps, and it's a fight for me. I have a 5 to 10 year plan.
Right.
Like I'm running this marathon. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish it was a sprint. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like it's just to really. And I also want to give opportunities to other people, man.
Yeah.
You understand how hard it is to get into the sports industry.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it firsthand. You know. But they're like, but it's just like giving opportunities like Chris, like that guy knows the NBA like really well, and like. Just because he can't get in with ESPN or just because he can't, hey, come to the Fantasy Sports Cave. We got you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you how it's, you know, I'll show you how it's done. Like
building platforms for everyone else. That was my number one why.
Yeah, and it's just like giving other opportunities because now everything's going online, everything going streaming.
Yeah.
And I know not that many people won't want to go like ESPN or Fox Sports, so they don't have those opportunities. And I feel like I can fill that niche and make it better.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's what you're doing. Like I said, the way and the rate that you're growing, whether it be building the team, the content, the consistency, and that's how, you know, I gauge people. It's like focus and consistency. From every video that I watch, even though it's very unique, it's consistent with the message and what you're trying to bring out to the viewer. You are creating an experience for the viewer that is watching this that don't have the luxury to be there at that time. And that's priceless. And that's why I see your brand going very, very far because
appreciate that.
That's unique. It's not too many shows that's their focus. If you understand what I'm saying, a lot of shows is just pushing out content. Yeah. But it seems like you're literally trying to get into the mind of the viewer to create that fantasy.
Yeah.
Like that's literally like the title fits what you're doing. So I really want to tip my hat off to you for that. Before we close up, man, share with everyone, man, where can they find you? How can they support you? And then what you also got going on next, man?
Yeah, so you can definitely check us out. Go to thefantasysportscave.com. You know, we got all the great articles, all the interviews there, you know, from athletes, you know, articles. We post content every single day, you know, whether it's NBA, soccer, whatever. Whatever's trending right now, we're covering it. And you can also go to Instagram at the Fantasy Sports Cave, Twitter, all this at Facebook. And, you know, like I said, like the biggest thing I got going on, which I'm leaving in a couple of weeks, is to go to Russia, cover the World Cup. By far, like, I've been talking about that since a year ago. You know, that's always been my goal, just one of my life goals. Yeah. Cross off the bucket list is to go to a World Cup. And I just got my visa for Russia. Awesome. Came in the mail today. And then I also got credentialed. Oh, actually, I finally did. I got credentialed today. The Mexican national team credentialed me. So this is our first official
Wow.
Today, yeah.
Wow.
So I was like,
congratulations.
appreciate
man.
it,
That's dope.
yeah.
That's
And
dope.
I was yelling at the car because I'm so used to getting these emails like, oh, I didn't want to read it.
Right. The email said not this time.
Not this time. And I'm reading it because I'm dropping off Mark, one of my friends, and I'm like, holy, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I just start yelling, and Mark's like, what's going on? I'm like, bro, I got credentials. But yeah, man, so I'm just covering that.
That's the first of many, man.
First of many, man.
Yeah.
So I'm be covering that, man. If you guys, please at least check us out.
Yeah.
See the content. Like I can guarantee you're not gonna find any content else like the way, the passion, the hard work we put into. Because I put you right there with the fan. Like I am a fan myself, and I want to show you guys the experiences. Whether you're in Chicago, New York, or any part of the world, I'm gonna give you that experience. I mean, the Fantasy Sports Cave is more than a sports experience.
That's what I'm talking about with Gio, man. It was great having you.
Hey, man.
We're going to do a bunch of these,
Let's
man.
do
We're going to
it,
do some
man.
more collabs, all of that. I had to get you on here, man.
I'm all about it, man.
Well, there you have it. So make sure you go and support Gio in the Fantasy Sports Cave. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comment box. You can follow us on IG. What's your IG, man?
The Fantasy Sports Cave.
Yep, Fantasy Sports Cave. Check him out. He has his YouTube channel as well.
Yep.
Y'all know where to follow me here on Facebook. You can also follow me. No, please follow me on IG under Jabari_K_Smith, as well as my YouTube, which is Jabari K Smith. And also go check out theprofessionalathlete.com. In the meantime, y'all, stay positive, stay productive, stay in the presence. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.